Hello and welcome back to Shakesyear. We are working on the Spanish tragedy, a revenge tragedy, and today we get to hear from the Viceroy of Portugal in Act 1, Scene 3. So the Spanish tragedy is a revenge tragedy because we have the ghost of Don Andrea and the personification of revenge watching everything that's happening so that Don Andrea can watch Balthazar, the Prince of Portugal, get what's coming to him because Balthazar killed Don Andrea in the war between Spain and Portugal, because people get killed in wars. That's what happens. So anyway, they are watching the whole thing. And yesterday and a couple days before in Act 1, Scene 2, they watched the King of Spain be very happy about the fact that his side has prevailed, and they watched Balthazar get brought in by Lorenzo and Horatio, and the spoils of capturing Balthazar as a prisoner were split between Lorenzo and Horatio, Lorenzo being the king's nephew, Horatio being Hieronymo's son. And then they're all going to go have a feast. So now Act 1, Scene 3 takes place kind of at the same time, but on the Portuguese side of things. So we have the Viceroy of Portugal, we have Alejandro, we have Velupo, some other Portuguese people there, and the Viceroy is like, we really lost. And they're like, yeah. And he's like, okay, and our ambassador is gone. Why isn't our ambassador back yet? And he's like, they're taking care of it. It's fine. Everything's going to be fine. But basically the Viceroy is trying to feel out, is there anything else that he needs to be doing right now, because they just lost the war. He had signed some documents which were taken to the King of Spain and blah, blah, blah. And he's just trying to sort of take stock of where he is. And the basic response is like, yeah, we're all good for right now. So the Viceroy says, then rest we here a while in our unrest, and feed our sorrows with some inward sighs. For deepest cares break never into tears. But wherefore sit I in a regal throne? This better fits a wretch's endless moan. Yet this is higher than my fortune's reach, and therefore better than my state deserves. Aye, this earth, image of melancholy, seeks him whom fate's adjudged to misery. Here let me lie, now am I at the lowest. Quiescet in terra, non habetit unde cadat. En me consumsit viris fortuna nocendo, nil superest ut jam posit obsesse magis. Fortune may bereave me of my crown. Here, take it now. Let fortune do her worst. She will not rob me of this sable weed. Oh, no. She envies none but pleasant things. Such is the folly of despiteful chance. Fortune is blind and sees not my deserts. So is she deaf and hears not my laments. And she could hear, yet she is wilful mad, and therefore will not pity my distress. Suppose that she could pity me. What then? What help can be expected at her hands, whose foot is standing on a rolling stone, and mind more mutable than fickle winds? Why wail I then? Where's hope of no redress? Oh, yes, complaining makes my grief seem less. My late ambition hath disdained my faith. My breach of faith occasioned bloody wars. Those bloody wars have spent my treasure, and with my treasure my people's blood, and with their blood my joy and best beloved. My best beloved, my sweet and only son. Oh, wherefore went I not to war myself? The cause was mine. I might have died for both. My years were mellow, his but young and green. My death were natural, but his was forced. So the Viceroy of Portugal is wallowing in his defeat, is what's happening here. He's like, I don't even deserve to sit on a throne anymore. I need to lie down on the ground because I am so base, so low. Nothing will pity me. Nothing will feel bad for me. Fortune has deserted me. Fortune isn't even listening to my cries for help. And like, what help is there to be had from Fortune, who just smote me? Essentially. And he's like, if I complain about it, maybe it'll feel a little bit better, but it was my fault that this war was fought. Which means that it's my fault that we no longer have any money. It's my fault that all these people are dead. And perhaps most importantly, it's my fault that my son, Balthazar, is also dead. Like, I'm old. I'm the one that should have died. He was young. He should still be alive. So he's very much having a pity party, lamenting his loss in this war and the loss of his son. Except Alejandro's like, your son's not dead. He was taken prisoner. He's like, wait, what? What? And like, yeah, he was taken prisoner by the Spanish side. He's over in their camp right now. And there's this back and forth where they're like, yeah, he's still alive. He's not dead yet. And the king, or the viceroy, sort of flips between like, no, he's not. But it's possible that he's still alive. Is this a thing? So he's on this sort of emotional roller coaster for a little while. And then Vellupo chimes in and is like, yeah, no, he's absolutely taken prisoner. And the king is like, well, tell me how that happened. So of course Vellupo will in tomorrow's monologue. I'll see you then for that. Mwah.